Hey guys and gals, welcome back to part 7 of Shopping Street by Lego Icons. This is set number 11371. Contains 3,456 pieces, and the set was provided by the Lego Group for early review. Thank you, Lego. And yeah, and we're working on the second floor. The first floor is pretty much done with a few exceptions of some little tidbits, but haven't gotten to that yet. And now, today, I don't know if I'm probably going to do bags 13, 14, and 15 just to finish up this floor. But I want to doubly make sure real quick, and if I can, because I don't want to split between a level. That wouldn't be fair to you, just to do that. Yeah, so bag 16 starts the third floor. Yeah, I'm not in the mood to do that. So I think that's what we're going to go with today in this build installment. Is we're going to work a little bit more on this, maybe finish this up. I'm not sure. I may just do 3 bags. It means I'll have to keep you here a bit longer. Okay, well, let's begin. Let's build it, starting with bag 13. Now, I wonder if there's any smaller bags in here. I don't know. Now, I got to keep a tab on the time. Oh, yeah, there's 2 of them, so we're going to be in for a really big treat today. I only have 30 minutes on this memory card, but I got another whole card clean, so I got to keep up on that. And in addition to that, I also I got 9 sets coming in the mail. So what I'm going to probably do is film a little bit of this and some of the newer sets coming in, because this one's released before the other ones. So once Lego gives me permission to talk about this, I will. Right now, I just got part 1 done of this build installment series, and today is the 24th of November 2025. So we're just close to Thanksgiving. And yeah, all right. And yeah, let's dive right on in here. So we got to put together a minifigure first. I see a glass piece here. We're at a 7 right now, and Lego, I'm seeing pits on this stuff. I see that again. I'm going to ding it down to a 6. I have no problem failing sets. These little ones usually come in without scratches, so I'm not too worried about them. But yeah, in addition, I took a few days off from filming. I caught some nasty cold that I'm still trying to get over right now. It started off as a runny nose, and boy, my asthma has been flaring up, breathing really hard, and so I'm kind of keeping myself isolated right now, and she's got a double-sided head, because something in the back of my mind is telling me it's probably COVID or the flu. So I'm going to be a responsible adult and not get anybody else sick. So the haircut or whatever and any other chores are just going to have to wait, because there's nobody needs to get sick during the holidays. She's got a hammer, so she's probably misfixed it. Or she could be the furniture builder. We don't know. But I've been pretty pleased with this set. The build quality seems pretty good. Build experience is fun. It's just packing, the way Lego's packing this transparent stuff, or the way it's been handled. That's where I'm having my difficulties with it. But at least I'm blunt with you. And there's our minifigure for the day. Not too bad. Okay, now we're back to the building here. Pretty pleased with this. I mean, I'm not dissatisfied with the quality. I'm just kind of, I get my bridges in a ruffle because of the packing quality on some of this. You know, some say I shouldn't care too much, but I do. You know, that's just how it is. So it looks like we're focusing our attention right here. And these videos are not to be construed as professional product reviews, how-tos, or tutorials. These are just merely my notes for the review for my main channel. That's what these are for. And yeah, I've been hitting pick-a-brick with some of the goodies. I need to order some parts. They had a double membership points weekend, but I missed out on it by a few hours. So I thought, well, it don't matter about that anyways. I'm gonna put some more parts in my bag, and yeah, I found some parts I desperately needed for a tutorial that I really want to get into. It's a oddball color, of course, but it's a piece that I need that I have lots of, just not in a certain color that I desperately want. So that's what I'm looking for there. Oh, wait. Wait a minute. These go here. Okay, this is... Okay. Yeah, sometimes I'm like that. But I've been fighting this nasty cold for a while. Scratchy cough, that kind of thing, runny nose, and it's over the holidays too. So if I don't feel well, I told my girl, I said, I may not be able to go, because her parents are in their 70s, and I said, I don't want to get them sick, so I'm going to try my best. She's going to bring a COVID test home and see. And I hope it's not that, because if it is, I'm not going to be in a good mood. Because I don't want to spend Thanksgiving alone. That wouldn't be fun. Not fun at all. So what is your guys and gals plans for Thanksgiving? Mine is going to be spending with my girlfriend. Hope everyone is going to have really a good turkey dinner, and with all the fixings and trimmings and stuff. It's always a good thing. Alright, let's put this little window together first. Yeah, I like building with Lego. I don't know, I just like putting stuff together. Some knock me down from my age doing this stuff. But, you know, yeah, see how Lego's got all these arrows pointing to things? I've done that with my building guides too. It's kind of a way to just, okay, we got all this stuff going on at once, so just do it. It just saves the time of a book or a build. So, since the last time we met, I had a person contact me about a building guide. Apparently, I was unaware of this, but on Rebrickable, if you buy a building guide from me and you signed up as a guest, you have a week to download that guide before it's locked out. And as long as you show me the receipt, I have no problem resending things to you. But make an account, even if you think you're going to make a one-time purchase. You know, it just makes more sense to do that. Okay, looks like that goes right there. So they weren't complaining about it. They just say, hey, we can't get access to this. Can you renew it? I said, I can't do nothing, but I'll send you a copy directly. Like I said, I'm learning how to use this website as I go. But if you're ever going to buy a building guide from me, just make the full account. You never know. I can always use notepads, but I need another one that has a letter on it, which this one's printed. Here, I'll show you. Not too bad, huh? Pretty cool. The beauty about having 4K. Okay, why would somebody leave their letter out here on the ledge is beyond me. I'm going to take my pitted flap window. I'm hoping I don't have to fail this set due to scratched parts. I really don't. I've noticed more people around my age and older are getting into this hobby, which is really cool. It's hard to find really anybody who does the stuff that's in my age bracket. Or if you do, they usually are interested in just making profits. Well, here on this channel, I don't make a profit. I just come in here and build, and that's what I like to do. I want to build things and show you how to put stuff together. I like doing that. Oh yeah, I got a new rule now on, well, it's not a rule, it's a policy, and I had another comment on one of my older videos. Somebody told me to shut the Smurf up and just build. now when I start seeing those, I'm just going to block them instantly. I don't have time for it. It's the holidays, right? I'm going to start getting a lot of things. Usually my biggest time blocking people is either during summer months and winter months. So, yeah, I don't want to do that. So just don't, you know, don't do that, you know. Just sit back and enjoy the build, you know, that kind of thing. This is just meant for fun, you know, that kind of thing. Okay, sorry about that. One of the downfalls of being sick, you get a little bit parched. I'm missing a 1x2 tan plate, a dark tan. I got plenty of 1x1s here. Let's make sure. Or I could have put them in the wrong spot. Let's check here, because if I have to dig out of the collection, that's not going to end well. I see those two there. I'm looking for 1x1. That's a 1x2 there. If you're not sure, check the book and make sure. Yeah, I've already used 2 of them so far. Nothing in my hands, but it could still be held hostage in one of the smaller bags. So let's take a look here. Now, what happens if we miss a part? Before I point fingers, usually I note that. And yeah, well, I'm going to have to get up and go. Oh no, here they are. I thought that was a 2x2. No, those, never mind. Okay, that's why I didn't point my finger at anything, because even I didn't know. But yeah, I'm just hoping to survive, and I've been drinking lots of fluids. I want to get this stupid cold out of the way, or COVID. But usually, I've caught COVID like 3 times in the past, and never had breathing issues, so I don't know what's going on. That goes there. And then, oh, never mind. It's like looking at that weird there. But I'm so glad you guys and gals get to join me on this build adventure here. And yeah, this channel may not get a lot of views, doesn't get a whole lot of subs, but for those who take the time to find it, it's a good hidden gold mine here. It's a really good hidden gold mine, because I talk about things that most big boys don't talk about. You know, my build experience. And this is a set I really wanted to get into, but I was sick. And I just didn't, I was just cold, chilly, and all that stuff, and I just did not want to deal with tons of small parts. Well, now, since I feel a lot better, I'm going to put this one together. I'm hoping to get it done by the end of this week. Well, that fell out, but that's one thing bad about Lego when they're trying to use the smallest pieces possible, is they don't even interlock their joints half the time. But we'll have to say that for the final build assessment there. Because I'm going to be honest with you, I think Lego went a little crazy on the smallest possible pieces that they can think of. Okay, how many more minutes do I have left? Alright, I got some time here. Okay, we'll put the broom in there. And then we got a bucket. These are always nice little accessory pieces to have. I was reading more on my vision impairment and stuff, and they have a new treatment that they want to try with me. Well, basically it has to do with contacts, but they want to try something a little different and see if it can bring up my acuity a bit more. Which is fine by me, you know. I want the best. What the heck happened here? Did I mess up, or did I just forget to put some parts in there? I did. Whoopsie. Well, we can take care of that right now. But it'd be nice to have full 20/20. I've never had 20/20 vision before. It'd be nice. Even with corrective lenses, it's never been like that. So it'd be really cool. Basically, I got eyes of a 9-year-old person now. But my mind is still sharp. That's all that matters. Hopefully I can get that going there. But I gotta wait for the DMV, because if I have to go see an eye doctor, I don't want to have to go back there twice to get a retest, because they give you a time limit. And I don't want to deal with that. Holidays are coming up, and I don't want to be spending half my vacation time sitting at the DMV office. All right. All right, so now it looks like we're focusing our attention to a rain pipe, or a downspout. So I'm going to take this. I know my hands are in the way, but I need to see it. Stick that in there. I'm going to make sure this is bottomed out. And then this one with the flange. Yeah, it looks pretty good. A little bit of a gap there. Trying to push that down. It's pretty close. But I can always wiggle this guy up here a little bit. Some kind of bucket here. I don't know what that is. Sometimes I'm building this stuff, I'm thinking, what are we doing here? Could be a fire bell. Well, no, what is this? It's not a bucket. I thought it was. Alright, so it goes obviously not like that, but I can't put those together. I got that at the bottom. Oh, I see, I forgot a part. Oh yeah, watch the whole video all the way before saying I messed up, because I may make mistakes. You know, we don't want anything bad to happen. Yeah, I don't know what that's for. Like, what is that? A fire bell or something? Could be a mailbox maybe, but why would you have a mailbox on the second floor? No. Lego's got some weird things going on. Now it looks like we're building ourselves some vines. So we're going to start with the bottom one first, which is this one right here. And this one's the top one. So let's get going on this first. Yeah, I'm glad I get to share my build experience with you guys and gals. It's always fun, you know, to sit here and conversate. We need to do a live stream one time. Now I have time off. You know what's sad is right when I take off, literally within days, I'm swamped with more set reviews. And I wish Lego would just let me pick and choose what I want, because I don't want to have to be swamped with 48 offers. This is one of them. 48. Just say the number. 48 sets. Most people don't even get that in a year. I'm getting that just in a matter of weeks. I mean, I kid you not, folks. It's, you know, oh, Jay, why are you complaining? You're getting free Lego. Yeah, but these are under a contract. I have to get them done. And stuff like this, and it takes a lot of time, because these are small parts. You know, a lot of these sets that they're sending me are getting to be 3, 4, 5,000 pieces. You know, 500-piece set, I can get those done easily, but now it's gotten to be to the point that I am literally like, my free time is swamped doing reviews, and I really wish they'd say, hey, we got an offer. If there's any sets you would like to exclude, I'd rather do smaller stuff than the big stuff. Now this doesn't show what hole this is going into here. I'm assuming it's this hole here, the one closest to the window. So, all right, sorry folks, I got it covered. I got to see what's going on. I can't show you everything. So this is just kind of a, oh, there we go. Let's make sure. Yeah, that's kind of what it shows there. Yeah. And then now we got to do the smaller one, the smaller leaf part. Like I said, I got to watch my clock here because like I'm limited on space. I'm trying to pack memory cards tight because once I get the sets here, I am not going to have any more space in terms of, you know, workbench space and memory card space. And I would buy some memory cards. There was a comment. Somebody says, "Why don't I use the YouTube funds and Patreon funds for this?" I got to think on that really hard because I want to be able to give you something like a building guide. So I got to think on that before I do something. It looks like this goes in this hole closest to this plant here, so we're going to have to wiggle that out of the way. And that brings up a topic of a GoPro. That's an action camera. I really am not doing any action stuff here, but I have to think on that really hard. And that's the plant right there. Not too bad. Okay, so now we're building, it looks like a table. And right now, I'm just debating if I should split this guy down. Because we're at 20 minutes on this guy. Because I really, do I really want to spend all day working on this build? I don't know. Oh, those are coming dark brown. That's kind of cool. I've been looking for nose cones in dark brown for, well, you guessed it, furniture legs for tables. So there we go. Okay, I don't know what this is, like a workbench or something? I need to set that down. Okay, it's a clear one. Okay, that goes in upside down. Okay, so this is a little workbench. That's a nice little workbench there for that. Got the paintbrush there. And then this sits back in this corner right here. Like that. Let me bring this up and show you here. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. And we don't have a lot of parts left, a lot of little pieces. And yeah, we're doing nothing but the most smallest possible. Oh, I can't share this. We're gonna have to build this. Here's a reference to another Lego set. Okay, so we'll see how this goes here. If you've already got the set, don't spoil it, please. You know, let the viewers figure it out. It's a micro build of a set, of an actual Lego set. Can you guess what it is? No? Well, we'll get there. We will get there. Can you still guess what it is? Making sure I'm not making mistakes. No? Okay, I'll put another part on there for you. What about now? Can you tell what it is? No? Alright, well, we'll put another part on there like that. And then a holder. Looks like that's in light nougat or regular nougat. Can you still tell what that is if I can get that on there? No? Okay, what about now? Wait a minute, hold on, make sure. Okay, I got to flip this upside down. What about now? No, you can't tell yet. Yeah, it's kind of a mess right now. We haven't gotten that far. You know, I got to have fun with these folks. I can't make these boring. Yeah. Now, you got to be able to see that now. You still can't see it? Okay, well, we're getting there. Okay. Put that wheel in there. There we go. It's the little Lego wooden duck. Remember that they had a set about this, about a wooden duck? Pretty close, huh? That was a nice reference. They even talk about it here. It looks like the carpenter's working on a secret project. Do you recognize it? Come on, focus. There we go. Yeah, I recognize it now. I mean, I know what it is as I have the book in front of me, but... And then that little guy, he sits right here with his beak facing against the wall. So this just sits right on that little thing there. Like that. And that wraps up bag 13. Not too bad I survived that, huh? I think we're going to continue on here a bit more. Let me get all these little pieces picked up here. We got a lot of little small parts. And that is what we have remaining. Alright, we're going to move on to bag 14. And, well, let's hope there's not 2 bags in here, but I have a feeling there is. Here we go. Yeah, we got more small parts, a lot of them. Yeah, I think I'm just going to combine 13, 14, and 15 together. Yeah, I think Lego went a little too crazy on resolution on this set, and they just used as much small parts as they can. That's what kind of, well, disgusts me in a way, because each bag takes, you know, a bag shouldn't take me no more than 10 or 15 minutes, but on this set, they're taking about 20 to 30 minutes. You know, so... But it looks like, you know, we could have just done the small stuff, then started the wall, but we're going to be working right here in this corner right there. And yeah, well, at least we get to go through some big pieces, but looks like that's short-lived. All right. I like these bricks with bow and bricks with arch. Yeah, I'm working on a new tutorial right now. I've been stuck on it for the last couple of months, and sometimes it just feels like I'm failing at a project, like I'm not doing it quite right. Only just because of time constraints. Now I'm off from work, and I thought I'd get caught up on some tutorials. I'm still going to do that, but it's like, okay, Lego sent me this set early. It's just all fairness to do the set early. Okay, now we're going to start on the big wall here. But when Lego sends me stuff early, that's only fair just to start on it right away. Now, if Lego sends me a set 3 days after it's been released, and, you know, I'm sorry, but it's late, I go on, if I'm already started another project, that's it. They have to wait. I even do that with clients too when they're late. You know, I'm sorry, but that time slot's already been forfeited. All right. All right, and now we need to get a couple of small stuff here. So I'm going to try to breeze through this as quickly as I can today without making mistakes. So I think we're going to do that because I was projecting probably about 12 build installments. Well, maybe we might get up to 11. Oh, what's the big hurry, Jay? It's not a big hurry. If this was the only set I was reviewing for the year, I wouldn't care. But when you have 47 sets coming in here, or 48, or whatever it is, and this is 1 out of 48. I got 47 more outstanding. Yeah, it's going to take some, you know, take some free time, and they're not poly bags either. If they were poly bags, I wish they would just send me 50 poly bags for the year, and I'd be done with it. I would go crazy over those, because I don't want all the big sets, you know. Some people want the biggest Lego set. To me, I don't care, you know. I just want to put something together, you know, that kind of thing. So I just want to put some parts together and kind of get away from the screen. That's why a lot of younger kids are not really into Lego all that much, because there's no screen time involved with this. Well, you can watch me build while you're building your Lego set. There you go. I need these. Possibly in this color for a tutorial. So, and then now we can finally close up the drafty wall here. We just put this in here like that. I like the way that they finished that off. That's really nice. If you ever get a chance to get the old-fashioned cafe corner, yeah, you know, the cafe corner was good for its time. You know, I always get a few of my buddies say, man, I wish I'd got that cafe corner. You need to rebuild that set again. I'm thinking, I might just do that. It would take me a few weeks to pull the parts, put them in a tote, and then we could start building that. But I'd have to wait till I have some free time to do that, because right now my free time will be wrapped up in review offers. So I'm just trying to think of ways to get these done quickly, and that's a cheap way to make a hinge. And then this goes right over here. We're going to lock that corner together really good. Okay, now it looks like we're moving on to maybe something with something furniture related, because we're using the reddish brown. Yeah, I've been watching some of these videos on the internet. Boy, some people get pretty I guess that's dark orange. Really nasty on social media. At least on this channel, I don't ever tell you guys to do something you shouldn't be doing. It's fun for entertainment purposes, but I don't want to be known as that guy that's a bad influencer. All I always say is, guys, explore your mind, you know, see what's in their mind and see if you can cough up that idea. I don't know what this is, but could be a lumber rack too. Yeah, Christmas is right around the corner. Alright, so they have a stud down there. What color is that? Dark orange. I hope I'm not being mean and throwing medium nougat in there. Sometimes I can't tell the difference in colors. All right, they're asking for radiator grill. So this could be a spot for lumber where they have like a place that they store it. A lumber rack. Because I don't think that'd be some kind of piece of furniture, maybe. And that's exactly what it is. And it goes right in here, right on these three studs. Right in here. I'm trying to get it to where you can see it a little better. Set that right down in there. Just rock that in place. There we go. I survived that. Now it looks like we're putting in a plant. Looks like we're just doing a lot of furniture now. We still got some bricks, so this one goes right next to the wood rack. I mean, we got to have some color in there. I mean, it does. It adds a little color inside the build there. Okay, what's next? Yeah, if you're looking for a really good build that's going to take you some time, here you go. All right, I know what this is now. This is a workbench. And hoping you can see what I'm doing here. I forgot to put this piece in there. That would not have been good. Bad things will happen. Yeah, it'd be kind of cool to have literally millions of followers on this channel, but you know what? Here's the deal. If I did, it'd be hard for me to read comments. I already have a hard time keeping up as it is just due to work, but, well, now I'm off so I can start getting caught up on everybody. Oh, it's a 1x1 and 1x2. Well, we're really... Lego, okay, you need to really cool off on the 1x1s and 1x2s. And honestly, how I know Lego sends me a bunch of this stuff with these little pieces, most of my collection consists of 1x1s and 1x2s. I kid you not, folks. And if you're looking for these, they're transparent on there. I was looking at that thinking, well, I don't see those. Yeah, I notice Lego sets are just getting more involved. Yeah, I think this is a workbench. I bet that's either a wood vise or something. I gotta think of something to make for dinner tonight. I may just have junk food. I'd suggest my family if they wanted to go out, but I'll probably hear the same old story. I don't know yet, you know, I'll ask, but probably hear it. Oh, that's not a bad idea. Okay, so they use, this is a wood vise. I never thought about making them like that. Mine are always two studs, like an old-fashioned woodworker's wood vise, but they use that. But that's kind of cool. But look what they use here. They use this piece here, and they use one of these propellers, like you'd put on the top of a hat or something. That's if I can get it in that little hole there. Let me look here. I can't even get that in there. I'll show you here in a second. They use that for the little arm. Pretty cool, huh? And that's the wood vise. And then the workbench goes right next in this area, right in here. I'm trying not to knock things off the workbench while I'm here. And I will set that down in there. But hold on, did I miss a leg? No, I did not. Well, it just... Lego, now I gotta ding it down to a 6.5. Really, this thing's caving in. We should have just figured out a way to put... I would have just stuck a 1x2 brick in the back. So don't press in the middle like I did. That just snapped in the middle. Alright. Build quality's starting to lack a little bit now. Jay, you ding off every kind of point. Yeah, I do, huh? Okay, now we're going to put some more accessories in here, and that's the whole point about a review. Is to dive in the set. How is it coming together? Is everything easy to... Is it easy to follow, or are we getting lost here so easily? Okay. And it looks like this is a stool here. That's not a bad way of making one. And then they use a round plate that I gotta find. Yikes, it's white on white. Well, that's our stool. Not too bad, huh? And then that goes right here. Right there. And then they take this one piece. This is printed. Well, I can't show you because it fell on the floor. Hey, a lot of the guys won't... A lot of the big YouTubers that get millions of views, they don't show you all the details because all the kiddies want the speed builds. Here, we're into serious Lego building. That's not a bad idea. Look at that. That's really... That's... I mean, I can understand why Lego uses a lot of small parts. It is detailed. But you can see where things fall apart. And, you know, I'm going to be honest, how many people are going to play with this? Probably not a whole lot. And then now we're building a chair. I mean, I don't think a lot of people are going to be playing with it. I mean, these are just mostly for really serious builders. And, I mean, because I don't... these are just mostly for cities. You know, for city dwellers or people who build their cities. I like these, and yeah, that's a pretty good chair, huh? If you had a way to make that bigger, like if you had a rounded tile that was inverted, you could get away with making these for your house. Like put that in your entryway of your house. That'd be pretty cool. And then this sits, and I think that fits right in that tube right there, and it just sits right on this workbench. Well, we better be careful. Remember how it caved in, so be very careful. So there's that chair. Get that in there. Okay. Now it looks like we're focusing our attention to the exterior wall here. Now, I don't know if I have any of these, but I do need these fender wells in this color, mud guards. So if I don't have them, I better find them. I gotta check and see if Lego has it. Yeah, I didn't place an order because I missed out, but I'm hoping they're there because I can order a couple of those. Alright, so we'll put this on the bottom and put the glass in it, so it is a window here, so we can keep the birds from nesting on the workbench next to the chair. They'll just imagine a pigeon going in there and putting a nest on top of that chair. There we go. Not too bad. Okay, well that's kind of cool. So it looks like this whole step here is just the window. And they're using a dumpling for a decoration. I gotta find the dumpling first. I think that's what it is. Ah, so many small parts I gotta go through. There you go. I would order dumplings, but I already have a bunch in my collection. That's if I can get that on there. I don't think it matters which way it faces. I think the bigger side goes on the outside, like that. I think that's used as some kind of a decoration above the window. But, oh. Did I forget something here? I bet I skipped a step. Let me look. Oh, I did skip a step. I skipped step. I skipped one part in 334. This actually goes in here. Okay. Well, it's better to check now than make a mistake later on and really mess up, huh? I'll be like, whoopsie, forgot a part there. Never seen this piece in that color. That'd be nice to get a couple of those for making well, that wouldn't be good for terrain, but yeah, I still remember that fan that contacted me years ago. How he missed his dad. He always watched my videos. I guess him and his dad did all this Lego stuff together, and yeah, I was out just looking for Christmas gifts, and I saw ones for the, you know, the like the home improvement stores, because my dad always liked those. Those gift cards for the store, so you can go out and buy whatever you want. Saw those there and just about got a little teary-eyed, thinking I won't be able to buy my dad this stuff anymore, which is kind of sad. It's like, I don't let my feelings show in my house because here a man doesn't do that stuff, but it's okay to do it. But some in my family were raised old school, like men should not be building with Lego. Well, I do anyways. Why? Because their opinions mean nothing to me. I do this just because it's fun and it relaxes me. It gets me away from the computer and stuff. I think it goes on the other side of that, and that's exactly where it goes. Boy, all those little pieces there. just to come up with this detail. Yeah, but if you're a dude doing this stuff, we all do it, you know. There we go. We're still not done with this window yet. We got a long ways to go here. It looks like this is probably all that's remaining, is to finish up this little corner. Okay, this piece goes like that. And then this sits right here. Okay. All right, and then we got to do another one on the other side. Yeah, I got to paint this rack from my network stuff. My TV tuner, I got a DVR thing already working. My family thinks that stuff is real cool, and I'm like, well, don't use it yet, I'm not done. And I forgot to put a bunch of gray pieces on the top there. I got to do that here. Okay, it looks like that just sits in there. Yeah. Okay, I forgot these up here. Okay, let's put those in there. See, sometimes I'll forget pieces when I'm building stuff. That's quite all right, because I haven't gotten to that point yet. I was looking at that thing, I missed those. Well, life's too short to worry about that. You know. And then now, yeah, I'm going to need 3 more of those. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I mean, that looks pretty cool, huh? I mean, that's a nice little decorations. These stick out a little bit too far, but that's what the book said. And then now we're going to tile the top of this real quick. And I gotta go check on some videos here for your viewing pleasures. Hey, imagine me not doing this stuff. I mean, I can't believe out of all the big giant Lego YouTubers, even if you're a small YouTuber doing this, I know there's some of you said you've done this, do it. It's a good way to talk to your fans here. It's like a live stream, but not, if this was live, I would never get past the first bag. These would be dragged out, but, you know. And now I got to check on my videos. Okay, back. Sorry about that. All right, making sure everything is getting ready to be shadowed up, ready to go, because I want to get more stuff done here. Okay, I got to think of something to make for dinner. Do I dare ask the family if they'd like to go do something? I may not do that, because that could start a drama there, and I don't want to deal with drama. It's a cloudy, cold day. It's like 60 degrees, but it's literally just misty outside right now. Okay, that's a plant that goes on this window ledge. That's kind of cool. We'll set that little booger right in there. Turn that around. All right. Wait a minute, hold on. Okay, there's a bunch of stuff going on with this step here. This goes here, but I'm having a hard time placing that in there. I'm just going to press on the leaf here and just kind of wiggle it in. And then I'm going to swing it out of the way. Then I'm going to put this little guy in here because that's what they want. But no, we're not done yet. We got to put these in here, and they go in backwards. So the stud goes in towards this. Be careful. I guess that just kind of goes all where it wants to go. So you got to put them in backwards. For those who don't believe me. They're backwards. See? See? See that right there? They're backwards. Boy, that really went focused and really good. Look at that. I mean, what am I about? 2 inches away from the lens? Oh, man, I wish I could do tutorials with this, but I'd have to stand off to the side. I haven't figured out a way to do tutorials with this camera yet. Oh, okay, we got something else to read here. Let me let that focus in so you could read it. Okay. Our carpenter bought to watch from the lives in the watchmaker who lives in the Lego Icons Tudor Corner and visited to him to deliver a chair. Okay, so yeah, this is related to the this chair might belong to the watchmaker. Well, in addition to that, we do have a watch. And my eyes are a little tired today, so I'm not reading very well, but hey, that just happens from time to time. Like I said, I got to get my prescription updated. Try out this new type of lens that they want me to look at. There we go. And then this goes, okay, now we're working right in this area here. That goes there, but we're not done yet. We're building another one here, but this one's got a mug on it. Just a classic yellow mug. I've seen these a million times here. Set that right in there. And now for some odd reason I'm craving for dill pickles. Maybe I should make me a sandwich. Maybe that's my hint. I don't know yet. Alright. Yeah, these little pieces, they do take a long time to do. Okay, so this just hangs over like this. And this just sits right on the tan. Don't put it on the white part. I don't know, maybe that's for the diving board for the little bird, we don't know. For the pigeons that come and visit the furniture maker because of the wood guy, we don't know. And this goes right here. I thought it went here. It goes there. You got a better view than I do. Alright. Okay, now it looks like we're building more columns here. We don't have a lot of parts left, which is really good. So, but I think that's what I'm going to do today, is focus on just doing this in one installment. Let's finish this up. It would be better just to kind of keep them packages. I don't want to just split between floors. That just would not do you any good. So I think that's what I'm going to do here. Hey, I've held up for so long. The other day I was just breathing so hard and rough, and it's a lot better today. I'm kind of glad my dad is not around, because he had caught COVID. It would not have been pleasant, but he did get his shots for the COVID stuff. Doesn't mean I want to get sloppy and get sick all the time, too. Okay. See, Lego does this in their building guides, too, with the double stacked thing. So I do that on mine. I bet this goes there. It's hard to say where that goes. Or it could go like that. And I bet this tile is used to keep these aligned, because if not, they'll crunch in. I bet that's what that's for. But no, we're not done yet. We got to put some stuff on the back, so we're ready to put another window in here. But I have another one of these brown pieces here. Am I just missing something altogether? Let me make sure. Yeah, okay, before we put that in there and I make a fool of myself, let's put this together. I have another one of these. Let's make sure here real quick. It shows that piece goes there. I only needed one. So the reason why I don't edit out the mistakes is because, I'm going to be honest with you, I make tons of them in these type of sets. And to sit here and tell you I don't make mistakes would be, it would not serve you any justice. And there's one back right behind here. All right, well, it looks like I'm going to have to redo this whole corner after all. So we'll have to take all this out here. Put that back. I guess it doesn't fit in there. I guess we have to do it. Okay, there's actually two behind here. Okay. There's two of these. There's one right behind here. It goes right there. You see where my fingers are? Yeah, that goes there. Now, I was like, what? Yeah, now I know why. All right. See, sometimes the sets tell on themselves when you make mistakes. It's okay to make mistakes in your builds. It's okay to do that. Because no harm done, right? I put it back to where I was at. See? Fixed it. Now I'm going to stick this in there. Now somebody's cussing me out in the comments. I'm sorry, dude, you're in a block. You know? Yeah, and this goes right here. So they use these to fill that in. I think that tile in there, well, you can't see that, but that's pretty tight in there. I mean, that's closed up very well. And that concludes bag 14. And let's make sure we only have one of these little small pieces here. Yeah, I mean, not too bad. It's still keeping my interest. I just kind of wish there wasn't so many small parts with this set. But, you know, I mean, you know, it is how it is. Okay, and I think we're going to wrap up with bag 15. This should finish up this camp here. And I hope I did not dive into something big, which I probably just did here. But while I'm preparing this for you, I want to thank everyone on my main channel for being contributors as well as Patreon supporters. It's always a big help. And as of the filming of this, I added a few new names to the list, which is cool, because someday it's going to take years for that list to go through. I want to thank everyone for taking the time to check out my Rebrickable profile and purchasing building guides. It's always a big help because it's helping me build the dream here. Oh, I just need 2 more of these. And in addition to that, I want to thank everyone for taking the time to subscribe, comment, like my video, sharing my content, and just basically being just an all-around great supporter of my work. So hopefully one day I won't have to do as many reviews. Yeah, so we're going to be doing that. Now, how bad is this? Wow, Lego, I'm surprised I didn't even get a scratch. That's like in mint pristine condition. Better save that. Yeah, so it looks like in this bag here, we're going to be turning our attention now to this area here, because we're going to be finishing up the floor. Okay, so looks like we're building this bracket that goes here. Jay, I don't want to do all these small parts. You know, I'm doing them for you, so you don't have to do them. I can use sand green windows. I am going to set those off to the side. Sand green, dark brown. I remember back in the day, I'd get these in black, white, yellow, red, and blue. That's all I got them in. Now today, Lego's got so many colors, we can't just keep up with them anymore, huh? Just a lot of this stuff. That's why I like Lego. Some people don't like the modern parts, but to me, I don't have to use modern parts to build my stuff. I could use old school stuff. That's the beauty of Lego. You can build it any way you want. Like, you've heard me mention this before. There's no right or wrong way to build stuff. Even if you buy a set like this and you build it completely wrong, who cares? Did you have fun building it? And if you did, then mission complete. You know, it's complete because you had fun. That's all that matters, is putting this stuff together and you, the builder, enjoying it. Because that's what I always say. If you enjoy it, that's all that matters. That's what I'm saying. I want to be a positive influence on this channel, not, you know, I want to make sure everybody here, you know, enjoys the build, enjoys the company and stuff. I just can't just be rude like that. And 2, my building strategies may not work for you. You can always build it the way you feel that's comfortable for you. You know, I can't emphasize that enough, you know. Because sometimes if you've watched my videos, you know I make tons of mistakes in these. So if you see that, say, well, I don't want to do what Jay does. I'm going to do it differently. So I don't make as many boo-boos as he did. Yeah, that's quite all right. Yeah, because this set, though, we're messing with nothing but 1x1s and 1x2s. They could have put a 1x4 tile in there and that would have sufficed. But no, they are just 4,000 pieces. No, 3,500 pieces. Let's keep it more realistic. And I'm literally just, I'm pulling out glass in here. Lego, you need to bring out a 1x2x10 window. We got a lot of glass to put in, don't we? I'm just pulling it out as I see it. I'm still trying to find that tile. It's like we're just doing window ledges now. And this one here goes like this, but I'm missing something here. Oh, because on the last step I forgot to put some parts in it. It wasn't just this thing. No, it was this. I may have to block people who make fun of me for making mistakes. I should. I make tons of them on these, but you know what? Hey. Okay, I see what that tile there was for. Alrighty. Once we minted that in there, it's not too bad, huh? Lots of detail. It's the only good thing about small parts. Okay, now we got to put some glass in here. So now we're doing windows. I don't want to slide these on the workbench. So what I'm going to do right now, we're going to populate all these frames here with glass. And these are always a turd to put in, but there they are. I got to make 5 of those. And stick these in here. Right here. Do they go on that? No, they go behind it. So long ways to go. So I'm just going to blindly grab glass pieces and start shoving them in there. Just going to turn my head and grab one. And if I grab nothing but small ones, then so be it. So you can play games while you're doing this. We don't need that big one just yet. Okay. Now I can make a column. Now you got a better view than I do here. So I'm looking at the camera making sure you can see what I see. Something bad about having a cold though. I've been fighting this nasty stuff, and even my mom's she's been dozing off, and I'm just kind of getting tired. I'm glad it happened after work, but then again I don't want to spend my time off sick. Well, we have missing something. Where's another small piece at? I always buy extra glass when I get stuff anyways. Or did I just not? No, but we have one extra one of these. Lego, did we make a boo-boo? I have to get up and go get it. It's not going to be friendly here. I think they made a mistake here, because unless I put the wrong piece in there, but no, I've got this big one, but I have this small frame. I have the one for this guy. I think Lego made a mistake with parts. Well, we'll see what happens. Let me go in my collection and get it, because I think they made a mistake here with this, because I don't see any other frames that would fit this guy. So let me go check and find one real quick. Alright, so I had to pop one out of a window I was doing with a mock. I had to dig it out to get to it. So if we are missing a piece, I have to knock it down to a 5. I have to. So, you know, if that's a better deal, I have to. Because if this is the first set you're buying, yeah, you would have a problem with that. Okay, let's see here. We just got the window in. Now we got to put in the foliage in the front. Which we got to make 4 of these with the cool yellow flowers. I was going to buy some of these. Oh, I'm kind of glad I didn't. So I'll put them right in the flower bed. Yes, my hands will get in the way here, but I can back away and show you here. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty pleased with this set, but I think Lego kind of got sloppy on packing here. Glass is scratched, we're missing a piece. We got a piece here. I could have misplaced it, but that wouldn't make any sense. But we'll wait till we're done with the pile. I'll check all my bags again, but that would have It just doesn't make any sense, because glass pieces, though, I buy extra anyways for my builds, but I had to pull that off of a build of the one that I was making. Okay, and then now it looks like we got to make 4 of these with some blue flowers. I think what I'm going to do is put it on the tallest stem here. I think that would be a lot better. These things can be a turd sometimes getting them in there. And then you shove them in the holes right in there. Boy, it would have been easier to do this without the windows installed. Yeah, because I can't get that in there. You got to have some small hands. Yeah, because I'm... Unless it goes in that one there, but... Let's see here. Can I get that in there? No. Okay, I'm going to pop these windows out. It'd be a lot easier with these out of here. This is why I'm dinging the points as I am now, because now I can get that in there without a problem. Take your windows out, put those in there. Yeah, that's Lego, you're getting getting sloppy here. Because usually, here's my rule of thumb. I always do the lowest parts first and work my way up to the big parts. My builds are designed for adults. They're never designed for children. Yep, this is why I'm giving this thing a really bad grade right now. Because we're getting scratch parts and now the instructions are just out of order. But I heard somebody told me that they use AI or something to write up their building guides. That's what I've heard. I'm like, you need to have somebody actually physically build these models. I build my own stuff. I have to make sure before I publish a building guide, because if I don't, there could be some problems there. Okay, I got those in. Now this thing that flew, oh, that's the lectern. Put that back in there. Now we can populate our windows back in here. Now it's much better. So if you can't get your hands in there, get somebody that's got little fingers to gently put those in there. And if you don't want to do that, or you don't have access to little hands, then you're going to have to do what I did. And then just, make things fit. There we go. We got that in there. So it's not too bad. You're just going to have to take out your windows to put those in. And we're not done with that step yet. We got to get more small parts here. Maybe I should have done this bag all by itself. This one's going to take a long time because I had to get up and find a window and all that stuff. But, I guess it is what it is. I don't know if I'll film any more tonight. If I do, then I'll probably... Okay, there's just so many white parts up here. Let me start sorting things out by type and size. I'm looking for some teeth pieces. Here's one. I'm trying to get this to where you can see it without breaking things. This thing is starting to get pretty fragile at this point. But yeah, hey, that's why we're... Okay, it's not small teeth. It's more 1x1s. You got to use a little holder plates to shove in there. I was looking for teeth. But I want to read the comments. I wonder how many of you guys and gals are ready for these small parts. I literally have tons of these things, but they break so easily after a while. They fatigue out, so just getting extra ones, I'm happy with it. Okay, now it looks like we're getting ready to put the arch around the window. Okay. I mean, look at all the small parts. I should have just done this in a build installment by itself. Then I could have saved myself a headache. I think we're going to be here for about 2 hours. I mean, how much memory card do I have left here? Oh, I still got a bunch of time. But remember, I filmed that other guy on that other memory card. Like an hour and a half or something left. I don't know. Because I don't have nothing dark. Yeah, I have an hour and 8 minutes left, so I got some time here. Missing a window. The instructions are backwards. I think Lego was their AI was having a bad day there with that. And then we got to stack more of these on here. Boy, they just really caked on the little 1x1s through this whole build. And now I got to find a downwards plate. There's an upwards. I'll put that there. Yeah, doing white on a white workbench is not fun. So they have a downwards one that I haven't seen yet. All right, let's start pulling things out by, let's push these over here. Hey, at least I don't edit these parts out for you. I want you to see the troubles I got to go through. So I got that guy, which is an upwards. Unless I put that in the wrong spot. But these are both upwards here. Lego, I hope that's not a boo-boo. Here's another upwards plate. But I need a downwards. Okay, there's one right there. Okay, I thought maybe we're making mistakes. Now I got to... The set was going along so good until we got scratch parts. Then we started having some piece like this is starting to come apart here. I got to hurry up and get this on here to keep it from doing that. There we go. Yeah, we're just literally... I mean, you've heard me use the term piece together. Yeah, we're piecing this booger together real quickly. And this goes right in here. I mean, that looks pretty seamless there, isn't it? Nice. It looks like we got a column there. Too bad. Okay, now we got to do the other column here. All right. And after I get done with this, I gotta go and do a little painting today on that bracket for my network stuff, my DVR and the TV tuner. It's just kind of sitting flopping around on the shelf. It works really good. I just gotta clean up the electrical stuff now on it. So now I can record television, but I don't really record, but I have a bunch that likes to DVR everything. To me, if I miss out, I'll just find it on YouTube or something to watch. But over-the-air TV, I usually just watch the news, and it comes for shows. Well, I find them on the networks page and watch them there. Or I just doze off to the TV at night. That's probably the only use I use it for. But they want, for me, I wouldn't care if there's a DVR attached to this thing or not. You know. And the thing is, the FCC and the networks don't really want you recording shows if they're afraid of piracy. At this point, why would I want to record somebody's show? You know, I don't care to record anything. Some people just don't want to be chained to a television. And two, they want us to own regular televisions, not a network tuner. I like having my stuff having access throughout the house. And this goes right down in there. So we got this part of the window here started, and we got this one finished. And that doesn't look too bad, does it? That looks really good. Okay. And then now we're going to focus our attention back over here, it looks like. We're going to be working in that area. Hey, every little piece I put on here is one less piece I have to go through. I mean, Lego went a little bonkers on this one. The very first modules were only like 1,000 or close to 2,000 parts. And yeah, they really have stepped their game up on the details, but just the small parts get, you know, if you don't have a lot of patience, I'll see, I agree with you on that. There's just a lot of Like, you could just see how the stuff just wiggles. It takes a while to lock it all together here. Of course, now it still wiggles. All right, I need to get some more 1x1 teeth. When I do my own stuff, see, I try to prevent using as many small parts as I can. You know, I've had some that say, Jay, you got to use more common parts. When I was a kid, small pieces like this were uncommon. I had big old 1x1 and 1x2 bricks, 2x2s, 2x4s, and all that stuff. And now it's kind of gotten more or less like Lego's kind of reverted back to just, these are like more the common parts now. Okay. Now, hold on. Okay, it's a 1x2. I gotta find one of those now. Well, we're really just piecing the 1x1s and 1x2s together. And then it looks like we're wrapping this off with an arch. I'm hoping to get 2 more of those. And yes, when I'm done with this, just like with the, I still have part of the Tudor corner, but I've been kind of scrounging parts off of that set a bit. There we go. Okay, not too bad there. Got that out of the way for you. Okay, now it looks like we're flat tiling the top of this area off here. Okay, well that's a 1x1 there. We'll stick there. Sorry if my hands are in the way again. That's just part of life. But at least I'm backing away to show you. You know, once you get all the tiles on here, you notice how now it doesn't wiggle. I'm always a fan of, let's make it strong at the beginning so we don't have to worry about any problems, you know, down the road. But this tile runs up to here. Oh, I see why. Let me pop that out and slide it over by a stud. And then now we just got to find a 1x1. Well, we're getting, I mean, look, the parts is starting to go down. At least the little pieces are starting to go away slowly. And then now we're going to take some of these little scrolly things, and then these are going to snap right on these holders in here. But I think what we're going to do here is I'm going to tuck it in first. I can't see that. I'm going to have to. Sorry, guys. I have to. All right, maybe we can do it like that here. You can see those holders in there. I'm going to put my hand back here like this. And I'm going to see, I'm going to tuck this corner in here first, inside the arch, like that. That is a lot easier to see it like that there. So what I'm going to do is stick this end in here first. I'm hoping you can see what I'm doing. This thing's kind of awkward to hold on to. Now remember, I don't have a cameraman, so just tuck it in there, and I'm going to snap that right in there. I got to hold in the back here. This thing's ready to crunch in. Whew. Whew. That was not fun. I felt like I was going to break that off there. That was not an easy one to put in. All right, so we're not missing a piece. I found my glass, so I will put that back over there for my mock that I'm working on. And we're going to put this little window together. That goes there, and that other tile. Well, where does this go? Oh, right over here on this one. I bet that flap window goes in there, huh? But we're not ready for that yet. We gotta get ready for the dumplings to go. We gotta put the dumplings on the window to cook them. Making sure I still have battery life here. Put the big side on the outside. I think that's how they want it to go. And in addition to that, these are a nice piece, so I need to collect more of those. And then after that, we take a corner plate and we put it like that. It's kind of a weird piece there, isn't it? And then this goes right up in this corner here, right above this window. Right here. And this just locks in right above that door frame. Alright, well there we go. We got that in there without it falling apart. And there's a 2x2. I don't want to forget that. Put that right above there. Okay. Alright, then now we need to focus our attention now in here. You can see how it's kind of deformed there. Well, they got this big beefy 2x4 tile. That you may have to wiggle that in a little bit. Put that in there. Yeah, I mean, I'm pleased with this set. I just, you know, we're still back up to a 6.5, by the way, because I thought maybe we were losing a part. But I'm going to be honest, there's just so many small pieces with this one here today. Okay, now we're going to start building the other side of this window here. It's another one of our window sashes here. We need to get that out of the way. Yeah, we're just about done. I should have just put this one in its own little bag or its own build, but now it's too late. Now I can't go back into the DeLorean, take a time warp back and change my mind. So we're already done. Let's just do it. Of course, that means I can get it done faster too. Okay, that goes in there. These corner bricks, I remember when these first came out, those were a lifesaver. They were a really nice part to have. There we go. And no, we're not done yet. We've got to put some more brackets on there. Brackets are your best friend when you want to make vehicles. So you want to make vehicles in oddball colors, save these brackets. They will be a good friend to you. You can't... Lego's gotten advanced now. We can't just build out of basic bricks anymore. You can if you want, but you weren't going to get any good, awesome creations using very basic parts. Well, I'm going to have fun editing this video. Not because of coughing or anything like that. I got that under control. You know what's going to kill me? It's going to take a while because this one's going to be about an hour and a half, 2 hours. I'm trying to go quickly too, but without making boo-boos here. And then the other side here, okay, we're on this side right here, then you got to do this side here. Yeah, I remember back in the day you used to get tons of big parts and sets, but not anymore. That's why my bins, I have more small stuff than I have big parts. Kind of a shame. Kids today will never know the value of those big pieces. Alright. So, okay, I see what we're doing here. So it's just an offset of windows. Okay, so we got this one sunk in a bit. This just fits right there. And then now we got the trim around this window done, and this one's been formed up. So that's really cool. Survived that one there. Okay, now it looks like we're ready for the pitted flap window. Or this one's not pitted. Here's a fun fact. You can stick these in the bottom like that too. Okay, that's not what they want, but you can do that. You can make an oven out of that if you choose. You can put a handle on there. Oh, we got to put a plate at the bottom. But if we're going to have flowers, I don't think it's going to open up. Okay, we'll just wiggle that in there. It's binding. There we go. Got that in. Now we gotta cook another dumpling on the window. First I gotta find the jumper plate that goes to it. I always put the dumplings in backwards. I even did that one backwards. My goodness, I always put those on backwards. Does it matter? Not really. But you can put yours on any way you want. Someday they're going to make a plate where it only has like a 1x4 plate that only has 3 studs on it. That'd be kind of cool. There. Now we stick that right above the window. They have this thing open like that. I guess for you to pinch it open. I mean, they left the window open. Maybe they let the air in. We don't know. That's what mine looks like. So I think we're doing good. I didn't mess up on that one. Right, now it looks like we need to strengthen this up with a 1x8 plate. Just remember to pinch in the back because we want to really make sure that's secured. And we got to put a 1x1 right in there. I know my arms are in the way again, but that's where that went right there. Somebody said, though, why don't you just move the table and work somewhere else, or work somewhere else? I could. But in here I have all my materials and stuff. The camera's in here, and I could do this in the kitchen. But the problem with that is I got to deal with copyright stuff because they like playing music in the other part of the house, and I don't want to deal with that. I don't want to get in trouble. Sorry, but the record companies smurfed it up for everybody. Or I wouldn't care. It'd be nice to have a conversation while building this. Now that Christmas train I got, there will be a build on that. I don't know if I can squeeze it in because of all the set reviews that I have going on right now. All right, so I'm not going to make any guarantees that I'll have that one by Christmas time because I got a bunch of other things going. I really want to get into that one. That set looks really fun because I want to get into trains and locomotives. But I can't right now because I got to do my dumplings. Okay, get this over here. That's not too bad, isn't it? Let's see if I can do it like that for you there. And then we got this other piece that goes right here. I mean, yeah, they use their geometry skills and really fill that in. Like, I'm going to take this idea because I got some builds I want to do angled walls. My house has tons of those. Like, I don't have any rooms that are literally like just a square box in this place. This house is old and it doesn't have all that. Okay, we'll put our dumpling shade on there. Uh-oh, it's falling apart. Be careful, guys. This thing just buckled on me. Yeah, that's kind of a, do I dare say it? Kind of a, yeah, look at that. Boy, that is just kind of all deformed in there. How did that happen? Like the window's all crooked. Do I have to tear that apart? When I took that out, it went back to normal there. Lego and its 1x1 madness. Let's put this in here first. Put my finger in there like that. I'm just going to pinch that in. So if yours caves in, I hope I didn't forget any parts in there, but that's what they wanted. Yeah, I got a bunch of owies on my hands. That one I scraped up against the stucco outside, so yeah, it was not a, wasn't fun. Remember back when we were kids, you had the popcorn ceilings, you'd scrape your hand on that? That wasn't too pleasant, but you know, that's how it was. Then now it looks like we're getting ready to fortify the top. Yeah, that old popcorn ceiling, this place had a whole bunch of it. And when I moved in here, that was the first thing I did. It was, the ceilings were not repairable. They were, somebody came in and poked a bunch of holes in it before I obtained ownership. So I came in and re-drywalled everything, and that was one of the things, you know, hey, you're restoring this house, you're going to put the popcorn ceilings back in. I said, no, that stuff's going to stay out. Sorry, that was like a 20th century deal. And I didn't want that nonsense in here, so that stuff was gone. my house is plastered. What I did is I re-drywalled it. Then I hired somebody to come in and actually put plaster on the walls, like literally plaster what you'd have in an old school house, because I like the plaster look. So that's what I did. Haven't had any issues since, except it's still drywall, you know. Except if I need to oh, I put that in the wrong spot. Except if I need to drill a hole or something like that, I got to drill a hole. There's no plaster lath behind it. I got to be careful because, yeah, it's just more of a durable finish. Okay, it looks like we used this here. We're getting close. We're almost done. I can't wait. Probably going to be a 10-hour video, but hey, you know what? It'd be worth it. There we go. And then this goes right on top the dumpling to help it cook better. You still have this window open, huh? You forget to close the windows, Lego? Is that what happens? That's why there's a lot of dust blowing in. Okay, now it looks like we're ready to fortify the top and finish everything up with tiles. So let's start tiling things off here. 1x3 flat tiles are also very helpful. If you ever get into mock building, you'll find out you need that 1x3 flat tile, not only just because it looks better, but for structural purposes too. That's always the best thing to find. And these corner tiles will also be your friend. I've been using these kind of in just experimental builds right here. Not for what they're using them for, but just for like designs and stuff. But okay, that takes care of the tiles. I don't see any more left. All right, now we're doing a bunch of plants and stuff. So where do I want to tackle with this first? Let's work our way on the bottom here. Put that stud in there for the flowers. Get that for you to see better. And then we're going to start putting these together here. My stomach is starting to growl. You know what that means? I'm getting hungry. Oh. Well, they have this window open. Okay, I guess it still can open. But I'm going to close that. Okay. We don't have a lot of parts left, folks. And then after that, remember when we had to put these on backwards? I'm going to be smart. I'm going to hold behind here. I'm just going to barely push that in. It's a good way to cover that up. Now I have to rotate this so I can see it better. Okay. See how these are all weird? You put those in there. You think the studs would go the other way. No, they don't. That's how I would have done it, but I got to follow the instructions because this is a complete build. I can't just do what I want to do. And then that's it. We're done with just these pieces remaining here. Okay, now there's one more thing I got to show you because now it wants us to put this on the top. So, yeah, let's get to that first real quick. Okay. I need to zoom out here for you. All right. So how easy is this going to be? I'm probably going to pick this thing up in a not so friendly way. Let me scoop it up here. Put this on here. Okay. We got to press that down now. Let's hope it all lines up. All right, let's see here. I think it might be better to push it in the middle. Now, when I do the tour on this set, I will take the floors off. See how it's buckling there? You're going to have to really force that in. It's also doing it here too. You're going to have to really walk around here, and like now it's kind of buckled here. That's not going to be fun taking that off. I think it's all these weird angles. Once everything kind of gets formed in, it should be fine. And we are good. No, that right there needs to go in. See, all this stuff just snaps in when you're done, but how easy is it going to be to take this off? I don't want to risk it. Not even for the brisket. But yeah, that's not too bad, huh? Not too bad at all. We're getting there. Oh, we at least we got 9 more bags left, and I gotta take the time to do the whole tour. So we'll put the twins here. We got, what is that, Justin Bieber and Justina Bieber? We don't know what their names are. We got a hat that's included with this. We'll set that there. And we'll put this person right here. Okay, and that'll be it, and I'm ready for the thumbnail. Okay, not too bad at all. Summation of thoughts. Well, where do I start with this? I'm kind of disappointed with the scuffed glass. Build quality, I'd say, is more average to above average. The details on this are just beyond average on this set, but the more smaller pieces you saw, a lot of things can crumble and cave in. So I'm going to say the build quality in this is probably average. Of course, the bigger the build, the more problems you're going to have. Also notice this here is kind of not too pleasant, but it's meant to have buildings by it. And all in all, though, it's not bad. It's got some weight to it. So you got to be careful. You don't want to pick it up here because you'll bend your plate. But I'm pretty pleased with the build. It's not too bad. Remember, you have to take out the windows in order to put the flowers in, unless you have a set of small hands. I don't, so I had to take those out. So I think maybe they weren't really thinking on that. But I think, honestly, we are ready to go. So the only thing remaining now is we got the 3rd floor and a couple roofs to put in. But I want to know what you guys and gals think so far of the shopping street. To me, it looks really good. I just wish it was built a little more stronger and not so many small pieces. But let me know what you think in the comments.